Welcome back to the Future of Real Estate. I'm Brett Ellis of the Ellis team at RE/MAX Realty Group down here in sunny Southwest Florida. Gorgeous weather if you haven't been here or if you're from up north. Today we want to talk about our top 10 tips for selling your home in today's market. And we've got this article up in our blog already. If you just go to blog.topagent.com, you can find it there. It's also in the Fort Myers News Press. You can find it there. But I want to give sellers a couple tips on, or at least 10 of them, on how to sell their home in today's market. Okay, the first tip that you'll find on the blog is curb appeal. You know, buyers tend to judge the quality of the home on the inside by what they see on the outside. So if it looks really bad on the outside, they might just bypass it. They might tell their agent, I don't want to see that home. I know it looked good on the computer, but I don't want to see that home. Or they may do a drive-by, and drive-by showings are always good because if they see the sign and they call, they already like the curb appeal. So we like drive-by callers. Now they may not know the price, but we don't get good drive-by calls if it's got terrible curb appeal. And there's some simple things you can do, from just mowing the lawn, cutting back some shrubs so you can kind of see the home, just tidying up a bit, maybe a little bit of mulch, that sort of thing. So just definitely look at, with you and your agent, what you can do with curb appeal. The number 2 tip we have is declutter inside. If a room has too many things in it, it tends to make the rooms look smaller. The other thing is this: when you're showing a room, you know, as professional agents know this. Let's say I'm walking into a bedroom. If there's a big dresser right there, that's the first thing you see. That's the first thing a buyer sees, and it kind of cuts off from that angle outward. It makes a room, it may take 30 degrees off the angle of the shot. Not because there's not more room behind the dresser, it's just what the eye stops at what it can see and then it moves out. So you might want to make sure you don't have big furniture right by the opening so people get a full 180 degrees or whatever the room offers, okay? The number 3 tip is to remove personal photos. You don't want to have too many personal photos because it over-personalizes the home, your home, and what you want buyers to do is envision themselves with their photos, with their family memories that they could create in your home. But when you've got, 300 photos of, grandma and grandpa and the kids and the dog and the nephews and stuff, it's just too much, and it never quite feels like home. So people don't emotionally put themselves into it like, hey, this could be my home. So number 3 is probably one that cannot be overstated or underestimated. Number 4 is, if we can, if a buyer can smell it, we can't sell it. And that goes for cigarette smell, cigar smoke, and pet odors. Some pets are worse than others. Obviously you've got kitty litter and whatnot, litter boxes. If you can smell that, that's not good. Some of the dogs, like Dobermans and Cocker Spaniels, and certain dogs have like a real oily skin, and it permeates into the carpet and drapes, believe it or not. So cigarettes, I tell people that are smokers, you gotta go outside and smoke, and we gotta clean the smoke smell up, because like I said, if buyers can smell it, they don't want it. Buyers are increasingly more conscientious about that. So if you want to get top dollar for your home, just make sure the smells are gone. The only okay smells are maybe bread baking in the oven, or cinnamon, or certain types, and even that can sometimes turn off certain people. But that's a far better smell than pets, cigarettes, cigars, that sort of thing. Number 5 would be remove pets for showings. Even if your pet doesn't smell, there's nothing worse than having a cute, adorable pet at the home. And let me tell you why. A lot of buyers think, well, they'll just fall in love with my pet. And they do. But I don't want them to fall in love with your pet. Because what happens is, they remember that cute little adorable puppy, or that dog, or that cat that has a great temperament, but they don't remember the house. So when they're looking at 6 or 8 homes, and the agent says to them, okay, what's number 1 in your list? Well, I don't know. I sure did like that dog though. But I think I like this other house. They don't remember your house. We want them remembering your house and saying, this is my number 1 choice. Remember, buyers have choices. They might look at 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 homes. I want them to remember your home, not your cute pet, because the pet's probably not staying. I have had a couple sellers, believe it or not, offer to throw the pet in with the home. But typically, the pet stays, or with the owner. Don't make it about your pet. Let's make it about your home. Number 6, and this is a big one. Our buyer agents will tell you this: be gone for showings. We don't want buyers there with the opportunity to ask you, hey, why are you selling? Where are you going to? How soon do you need to be there? If we allowed you extra time after closing, would that be a benefit to you? You think this is nice talk. But what they're really doing is they're looking for ways to, one, beat out another buyer, or two, how they can get you down in price, because they're seeking information. They're going to use that information against you. We tell people every word you say is going to cost you about $1,000. It was kind of funny because we had a seller in here one time, and we had an offer that came in $40,000 less. And he walked in the office and he said, "Yeah, I met the buyers there. It was great, blah, blah." We said, "Did you talk to them?" He said, "Yeah." We said, "What did you say?" "Well, I told him this." We said, "Let's write it down." It was kind of funny because we wrote it all down. It was 39 words, and the offer was 40,000 below. And we'd always had that saying, it's going to cost you about $1,000 a word. I don't know that that's etched in stone, but it's a good rule of thumb. Everything you say can and will hurt you in the course of negotiations. So it's kind of like your Miranda warning. I'm telling you as an agent, please don't be there. And if you do happen to be there, go out, take a walk. And if they ask you questions, just say, "I'm sorry, my realtor told me all questions need to go through them." The reason is this. I've had buyers say, "Well, the owner told me they were going to leave that couch there, or they were going to do this, or they were going to do that." Well, you know what? It's not in writing. There's no witness to it. It's just a buyer and a seller, and it becomes a big fiasco. And then they want money at the closing table. I just soon all negotiations go through us. Then we know what's said. You got a third party, and better yet, we'll get it in writing. Number 7, price. You don't want to overprice your market, because if you overprice it, you miss your market coming and going. Let's say, hypothetically, you got a home that's worth $200, and you say, "Hey, we'll ask $250 for it because we can always come down in price." Well, here's the deal. The $200,000 buyers come in and they say, "Well, it's a nice home, but it's, you know, it's not measuring up to, you know, it's $250,000. We find a better buys at $200, or worse yet, they don't even come through your home because it's overpriced. So they're looking at the 200, maybe up to 210, but they never see the 250. So your home's like invisible on the market to them. The 250 buyers come in and they say, "Yeah, it's a nice home, but it's just not near as good as those other $250,000 homes," or maybe the 260 they're looking up to. So you miss your market coming and going. We hate to see people overpriced, because then the home gets stale on the market and people begin to wonder what's wrong with it. So you don't want to overprice the home and then find out you missed your market and it stays on the market way too long. Number 8, marketing. And times have sure changed when it comes to marketing. We've always done the traditional marketing, you know, the newspaper, the TV, the radio, that sort of thing. And that's all well and good. I'm not saying don't do that anymore, because we still do it. But we like to do a lot of the social marketing, social media. We do Twitter, LinkedIn. We have like 5 or 6 Facebook fan pages. If you want to check us out, one of them I think is facebook.com/Ellis Team. Another one is SW Florida Real Estate. If you find us at any one of them, you can find our other pages. But we use the Twitter at SWFL Top Agents. We've got our blog, which is blog.topagent.com. We've got, you know, all sorts of things that we use. You know, Lee County, Florida Real Estate.com. We use all these things in concert with one another, and they really bring us a lot of online exposure. We do virtual tours on our properties. We have buyers contact us from all over the world for specific properties. They're not even in Southwest Florida right now. So instead of trying to reach a buyer on a given Saturday for one day with traditional, or a TV spot that's like for 1 minute, we're now able to go outside. But not every agent knows how to effectively use social media. So you want to talk to someone who really knows what they're doing. Number 9, if you owe more than the home is worth, definitely look at getting a certified distressed property expert. That's a CDPE for short. It takes a lot of time. There's a lot of expertise in getting the paperwork, the forms, the contracts the right way, and negotiating with the banks. We've got a myriad of disclosures and whatnot that you got to be aware of. Things that you have to follow, rules, guidelines, regulations. There's different governmental programs, things that you have to know. If you're underwater, if you're going to consider a short sale, it pays to work with a professional that knows what they're doing with a short sale. Otherwise, you'll be 6 months to a year and you won't get it sold. We're getting some of ours done in as little as a month now. A lot of them take 2 to 3 months, but you don't want to go 6 months and find out, hey, you did it wrong, and the bank just rejects it and then they foreclose on you or something like that. Do it right the first time. It doesn't cost you anything more, but do your research. Definitely look for a CDPE. And then number 10, I would say select the right offer. You know, I had a reporter ask me one time, what deal are you most proud of? And I had to stop and think for a second. I said, you know what? Maybe not be any deal I've actually done. It's maybe the deal I didn't do. It's the bad deal that I didn't get my seller into because I knew it was going to blow up. We've got a lot of wisdom and expertise. We've done over 4,000 transactions. So we know, and we've probably looked at over 10,000 transactions and, things we didn't do. I'm not saying every deal we do is a guarantee to close, but a lot of times hey, this property is never going to finance FHA, or this buyer is not going to be able to perform because they don't really qualify. They're going for a program that doesn't exist, or that they don't qualify for, or the home won't qualify for. The HOA or the condo may not be pre-approved on the Fannie Mae list. The type of contract language they're using will never work. I know you have to match people's words with their music. They may be singing a certain song, but the words don't match the music. And that's a warning sign. And it takes a lot of experience to pick up on that. But when you pick up on that, here's what they're saying, but here's what they really mean. And I know that this buyer is a flaky buyer, and there's a small chance we're going to ever get this thing to close. So I would say select the right offer. A lot of people like to throw the term out there, the first offer is always your best offer. I disagree. From a real estate professional, I'll tell you, it might be your best offer if you don't think you're going to get another one. But it may not be your best offer, and I don't worry about if it's the best offer. I worry about, is this offer work for the seller, and does it look like we can actually get this one closed? Can we work with this buyer? If the answer to that is no, then wait, move on. Because why tie the property up for 2, 3, 4 months and then find out you were never going to close this thing, and then that next buyer who was your good buyer, you missed. I don't want to miss that buyer. So that's our top 10 tips presented by the Ellis team on selling your home, the future of real estate. You can always reach us at 1-800-860-4042. Don't forget to visit our website, which is topagent.com. I'm Brett Ellis, and thanks for tuning in.